the fast life meets the fast lane.
Yeah.
You're now tuned into Bars and Hoops Radio.
Yeah.
The world of hip-hop and sports live.
Dropping the clutch and then I hit the gas. Wheels screeching, tires burning, I'm flying past. Gotta get home quick, don't wanna miss the class. They schooling you on whips and how to make them fast. Talking about everything from cars to planes. What's hot, what's next, and how to flip the game. They talk in my language, we speak the same. That whip talk complex, but yet they keep it plain. From the news, the interviews, they keep it cool. They give reviews, everything from parts to tools. Can't lose, come to whips, they not no fools. Don't miss the show, the start time is noon. The bearded one, S.I. Sean, they crazy though. You can't miss it, tune in to Rally Radio.
Where the fast life meets the fast lane.
Whoop, 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 whoop. We are in the building. What's going on, y'all? It's the bearded one here. We are here, man. First show of 2026. Let's go, man. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. You already know what it is. You know where to find us. Saturdays. Unfortunately, it won't be 12 noon anymore. We're going to probably change that because 12 noon is a little early. But I got a lot of automotive news for you here today. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. You already know what it is. Oh, man. Let me tell you. It's been a rough week. It has been a rough week, but it's been more of a rough week for Dodge. And that's where we going first, man. The startup. It's going to get crazy out here today. There's a lot of things going on out here all over the automotive industry, from EVs not being the end-all, be-all right now. Gas prices is coming down. It's looking crazy out here. This is exactly what we want. This is what we've been waiting for, man. This is what we've been waiting for. So everybody, don't forget, tune in Saturdays. You already know where to find us. Rally Radio in the building. Like I said, the first thing we want to talk about is going to be Dodge. Dodge got to kill off they got to kill off the Charger. And we're going to set that off with our startup. Let's get to it, man. Dodge has to kill off the Charger. If they want to keep any kind of credibility in the automotive world, they have to kill off this new Dodge Charger. Now, I don't know if y'all seen it. Pretty ugly. It's what we use for the thumbnail up here. They have to kill it. There's no way that they can keep this Charger and still be who we expect them to be. They can't. They use the same body that they use for the electric version. And I was waiting for the turbo inline 6 version, but now looks like the reviews are horrible. Talking about the sound is garbage, the performance is garbage. It's like they're trying to figure out what they're doing with it, and it's like getting worse. It's getting worse. They're going to end up having to kill this thing off. And you know what? Dodge is already killing off a lot of the plugins that they have for 2026. They're killing them all off. So now, not only are they killing off their plugins, the Wrangler 4xe killed off. They killing off the hybrid Pacifica. They killing off also, I forget what other hybrid they had. I believe it was an Alfa Romeo that they had that was actually going to be killed off as well. It's getting ugly out here for Dodge. They're going to have to definitely kill off this Dodge Charger in order to make something happen for themselves. I don't see no way where Dodge actually exists with this thing. And you know what? Like I said, we was waiting on the gas powered version. It just never really came to fruition the way that they is doing it. It just never came to fruition. Not the way they thought it was. It is definitely not it. It is definitely not it. I don't know what they was thinking. How did they talk themselves into wanting to do this? But the Dodge Charger that's out right now is no good. First and foremost, the inline 6 turbo, I believe the engine has a promise. I believe that it has a future. But as far as like in that car, no, I don't think it's going to do anything in that car. I think that ultimately it's not going to be worth it. Shout out to everybody tuned in, paying attention. Shout out to my guy, Joe Dawn. He said, yo, we up. Yo, what up? Well, you know how we do, kids. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. You know how we get down, man. Don't forget, drop a like, drop a comment so we can shout you out. You already know where to find us. Looks like I said, that Dodge Charger. Now, on top of the fact of it being all-wheel drive, turbo, inline 6, you would think when you hear those kind of things, you automatically thinking off the rip that this car could actually be good, but the reviews are horrible. I watched a review that Smoking Tire did. I don't know if you follow them, but Smoking Tire on YouTube, they did a review on the Dodge Charger, the all-new 2025 Dodge Charger gas version, and they were more than like they couldn't stand it. If it was subpar in almost every category. And this is what we were saying before. These the way that Dodge, that little minute that Tim Kuniskis left, and you had to Tavares running the show, it really went bad for Stellantis real quick. It didn't hesitate. And like I said, with them coming out with this Charger, you knew Tim Kuniskis wasn't with it, and you knew this thing wasn't gonna last. It looked like we're not even gonna get that so-called Banshee version either. Look, they just gonna just do what they got to do. I guess they're gonna let this body play itself out, and then they're gonna move on. Watching the Smoking Tire review, they talked about how the floor is still super high. Like they didn't even bother to cut out the compartment where they had the batteries. So now it's like you up sitting high, your feet is sitting high. The performance side of it, they were trying to spin it, drift it, take off with it. It just was not cooperating everything that they was doing. And this is what I mean. Dodge stepped away from what they know worked. And they had to do it because a lot of the political powers that be at the time was like, you know what? You're not going to be able to produce this V8 because you know what? We're not going into 2035 with any kind of gas power engines. Well, it looks like that has fell through. And if you were checking out Rally Radio from day one, you would have seen it. We was talking about it. The electric cars are not going to be able to last in places where there's coal. And then on top of that, there's not a lot of people's choice. Those who want electric cars have them. Those who don't want them don't have them. So now with them trying to force a lot of these car companies to build a lot of these cars, it really threw the automotive world for a loop. Like we said it was going to happen. First it was, we don't need this many mechanics because we're going to be going into electrification. Now look at Ford. Ford said they short about 5,000 mechanics at $120,000 a year. They short. So if you got a Ford and you go into the dealership, I can only imagine how long it's taking you to get your stuff fixed. So it's definitely a cataclysmic thing that's going on, man, with these EVs. And on top of that, we already got 20 EVs that we lost for 2025 already. That's already out of here. And let me tell you, we don't miss them. The first EV that was canceled out this year, Volkswagen Buzz. That was the little bus from the Woodstock in the 60s. Volkswagen got rid of that. It's a smart move by them, too, because it's ugly. But Ford also got rid of the F-150 Lightning somewhat. They kind of pretty much discontinue whatever they're doing with it. They probably going to revisit it later on, probably after 2035 or something like that, where they feel they can sell it. Because, again, people who drive pickups don't really want an electric pickup. Like, I mean, they want to go off-road. They want to be off the grid, off the mat, and can't do that with this F-150 Lightning because it has to be charged. So that's another one that we're going to not be looking at for 2025. The Acura ZDX. Now, Acura had made mention that they was killing these cars off early on last year. So they was kind of ahead of the game. But the Acura ZDX, done. Electric. That's gone. The Genesis electrified G80, gone. They're not trying to have none of those. Shout to my guy, Mr. 2J in the building. You already know what it is. Shout to everybody too, they're paying attention. He said they made it so unaffordable they priced themselves right out of the market. Exactly. The Genesis electric G80, done. Mercedes-Benz equals EQB, whatever they had, is finito. And not for nothing. Lewis Hamilton was pushing that hard when he was driving for Mercedes. He wanted to sell all his high-end sports cars, which he ended up doing. And now it's like, what are we talking about here? Shout to my God. Yo, shout to St. Hilaire. He said, I also think a lot of people not feeling the car companies having a lot of information and control over your vehicle. Exactly. And you know, if the car companies have it, the government has it. And not saying that they probably don't have some sort of car control or automotive control already. But the mere fact that the car companies had this, the third-party data, they selling your data. I mean, it was to a point where they were going to use a lot of these cars to tell if you're drunk or not, your regular seating position. I mean, come on. That's not what we want out here. So at the end of the day, it was a lot going on with it, and it looks like they've had enough of it. We've also had the Nissan Aria. Nissan Aria is canceled for 2025. The Mercedes-Benz, like I said, the EQE and the EQS, them funny-looking four-door SUV, I don't know what they're going to be. Those is canceled out. And you also got the Polestar 2 that's canceled out for 2025. And I think that Dodge needs to put the Charger right next to that. I believe that this car, it looks ridiculous. It really does. And it looks bad for them as a brand. It looks bad for Dodge as a brand. You cannot have this kind of brand and you letting this kind of stuff happen and bring your brand down. I think their best bet is to take this thing off the market. And there were a lot of personalities, a lot of YouTube personalities out here trying to tell you, yo, buy it. It's a good car. Ask them where theirs is at. Why they don't have one. Let me see what you're doing with it. Other than that, you ain't gonna get me to buy one, man. So that's our startup for the day. I'm gonna tell you, they act like people just are built with cash. And like you said, shout to Mr. 2J. The prices of these EVs is crazy. I believe the bottom basement was $57,000. And for what? It's like you really gotta think about this for a minute. So shout to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. You already know what it is. It's the bearded one in the building, man. We are here, man. We about to jump right into our weekly specs. Let's get right to it. You already know.
Weekly specs. Auto news for all the listeners, only on Rally Radio.
Right, you already know what it is. Subaru. Shout to Subaru. Subaru is wilding. Subaru is like Groundhog Day right now. Subaru supposedly released another supposed WRX STI Sport prototype, Type C, type. Let me tell you something. Subaru is giving me like play vibes. I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know too many. All them Subaru cats, hit us up in the comments below, man. They look like they want to produce a performance car so bad, but it's like they don't want to commit. And it's like it's showing. Now, they were supposedly, and back in October, they was teasing that they had two concept cars, an STI concept that was electric and one that was gas. And it looks like yesterday they released one and they still really didn't talk about if this one was going to be gas or not. But now we've seen them release the WRX STI Sport B, STI Type C, and all of this. It comes with a CVT automatic transmission, and now it looks like they're putting out this Sport prototype. Now, this one right here does come manual, they saying, but it's only going to come manual overseas and not in America. I don't know. Subaru, they're killing it for everybody right now. I think when you start looking at a lot of these car companies, they're tanking because it's like they don't got they beat on the people who drive and buy their cars. They don't have it, and because of that, it's looking horrible. Shout to them. Good luck to them. You already know what I'm saying. But this is where they're going with it. A lot of the stuff that they released yesterday, well, at least for this Subaru, nobody was feeling it. And you got to say to yourself, it's no additional horsepower. It doesn't even look different. It's like they living and dying on these plastic wheel wells. And it's like, y'all got to get back to the people who actually put y'all there, made y'all the brand y'all. Shout to Mr. 2J. He said, how does Subaru release a seasonless STI? You ain't lying. This is like fried chicken from from Barbara's house or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you can't listen. They are not doing what they got to do as far as releasing a great car. And because of that, their sales are tanking. The sales on the WRX alone is the lowest that it's been in the past decade. It is low. Nobody seems to be buying this car. Nobody wants this car. So it's like, what are they planning on doing? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, like, what do they really want to get done with this Subaru? And it's like, are they even trying to compete with some of the other ones that are in their category right now? Like, they might as well just hang it up. You might as well go the same way as the Mitsubishi Evo and just hang up the cleats. Because right now, looks like Toyota is doing everything they got to do, especially in this category. They're doing everything they got to do. Toyota's releasing hot hatch after hot hatch of the same thing. The Corolla, the Yaris, Honda's still putting out the Type R. It's like they just priced out. Like, who wants these? Who wants this? I don't see how they keep up. Shout out to my guy 2J. He said, meanwhile, Toyota blessed us and trolled us good at the Toyota show. Yes, Toyota is out here playing dirtbag games, and we're gonna get to that too. This Subaru STI is not. I don't see it as a performance car. Maybe if you just want something that you could get around in the snow, and then after that, it's the price. It comes out almost 48,875 by itself. It's almost 50 grand. So you mean to tell me I'm paying 50 grand for a car that doesn't even get me moving? It's tuned by STI. It doesn't say STI. This is a bad look, man. It's a bad look. I think that Subaru is just going to have to learn the ways of Dodge. You cannot go away from your fan base and think that people are going to keep continuing to spend their money with you. That is ridiculous. But you know what? In the midst of it all, it's been a huge disappointment. But I guess they're going to have some other things going on. I guess it remains to be seen. Shout out to my guy, St. Hilaire. He said, my auntie got a Subaru, and my auntie got a Subaru, and that says it all. That's a fact. That's a fact. We just needed to get around. But it gotta be a good price, though. You can't be out here charging me premium dollars for a car that's not premium. Now, if I got to buy a Subaru to get around, it got to be like 25, 30,000. Around that price right there, I pay. Maybe, because I could probably get something a little better for that price. But for those that want a brand new one, you're charging 50,000? No wonder you're not selling none. So only remains to be seen. We got some other automotive news we got here, which is really interesting. It looks like Miami-Dade County. Now, if y'all know Miami-Dade County, every time you turn on the first 48, it be there. Either there, Dallas, or they be wilding in some of these places. But it looks like Miami has a self-driving police car. This is our first RoboCop here, y'all. This is our first RoboCop right here. A car. Shout to Tisha. How you doing? Everything is good. Shout to Tisha. I don't understand. So it looks like Miami has a self-driving police car. And no, there's no officers getting out doing anything about anything. But they do have a autonomous police car. According to CBS News, for police unmanned ground, it appears Miami famed sky cops are safe from autonomy for now, meaning the ones in the air, but the patrol cars are definitely, they trying to go autonomous. Cops who often spend hours cruising or idling, just waiting for some kind of crime to happen. Now, though, the Miami-Dade Sheriff Office is marrying policing and autonomy with a pilot program to loose an autonomous police car on the jurisdiction streets. There's just one problem. It's built to be an autonomous car, not an autonomous cop. So their thing is, they saying, you know what? They want the guys in the cruisers, the police officers in the cruisers, to chill while this thing is driving around the neighborhoods. And don't get it twisted. This thing has all kind of cameras on it. The vehicle itself is a Ford Explorer, and it's kitted out with autonomic suite, thermal imaging, 360-degree camera, and a drone. It will reportedly be upgraded with a license plate scanner at some point, which would theoretically make it capable of automatically issuing parking tickets. That is crazy. That's where they're going. Shout to Mr. 2J. He says Subaru want to charge me used BMW money of a auntie built STI. That's exactly. It's too much going on over there, man. The audacity of these cats. But like I said, an autonomous police car that just drives around giving people parking tickets. Please don't give New York no ideas. They already talking about they putting up 450 more red light cameras. Like, we ain't got enough cameras everywhere. They're trying to put cameras on everything. Shout to my dude, Multi-Gamble. Yo, Ty, what it is. He said, they will never catch me, and I got a stolen license plate. I know how you get down, Ty. That's my guy, man. Shout to my guy, Ty. What's going on, man? He said, I'll never catch me. I got a stolen license plate on the car. Yo, I can't front. Just the mere fact that they doing it is driving me up the wall. Like, think about that for a minute. Like, an autonomous police car, they know that they're never really going to be trying to stop any crime. But now you got to kind of wonder, is there police in there when they drive by, or is it not? And that's probably going to keep a couple people at bay, maybe. You know what I mean? Hopefully. Shout to Mr. Chuja. It's like Waymo. Just put a cone on the hood and instant stop. Way more problems. Shout to my guy. Say, how you? I'm good, kid. I appreciate you for tuning in. I'm good. I see you out there, kid. I see you shining hard. That's my guy, man. Yo, I'm telling you. When you think about this right here, this Miami-Dade, just think about cities that need enforcement for little things. This is kind of where they're going now. They want to have all kind of like assistance, like autonomous assistance. But they know that these cops can't really be doing all of the little parking tickets and all that and still get out there and chase the big crime. So it only remains to be seen. I just find it interesting that they would do it in Dade County. Like I said, anytime I've seen Dade County, it's either they show them driving to Miami, but when you go to Dade, though, it's like it get crazy over there. It got a lot of neighborhoods, probably get a little crazy in a little 10-block radius, probably nothing too crazy, but they releasing autonomous cars over there now. And like I said, it's not really a cop. So just keep on the lookout for that. If you in Miami, just know the bearded one told you. Yeah, they got an autonomous cop car out there, man. It's not getting any better. Now, on to some more political news. Now, everybody knows, I've been saying this, that the automotive world is being hemmed up by politics, right? You know, early on when Biden and Harris was in office, look, the biggest thing was going EV and all of that. We're not going to have no gas powered cars. Now that Trump is in office, you know what? He's like, we're going to push that back a little bit. But there's a lot of other little things going on that we need to pay attention to, especially since we know that pretty much who we have in office is where this is going. Apparently, look like the House of Representatives may take up a bill aimed at Tesla-style electric doors. Now, let's get into this a little bit. China has officially banned sales of Tesla until they can fix their door handles. Now, what's the problem with the door handles? Now, the door handles are sunk into the car, right? Now, we all know if you haven't walked up on a Tesla before with a Tesla key or card or whatever they have, when you walk up to them, you know that the handles come out. But it looks like when this thing crashes allegedly and it rolls over, the doors are not opening. And it looks like right now in the United States alone, we've had 15 people that allegedly died in car crashes like that because the doors won't open. This is why China outlawed them. So now it looks like the U.S. House of Representatives wants to pick this up. So it looks crazy. After a bombshell reporting from Bloomberg unearthed what appears to be a fatal pattern of electrically operated Tesla doors not opening properly following crashes. It looks like the House of Representatives want to pick it up. So on Tuesday, January 6th, Representative Kelly from a Democrat from Illinois, which I'm shocked, introduced the Securing Accessible Functional Emergency Exit Act, called SAFE. Wow, what an acronym. Securing Accessible Functional Emergency Safe Exit Act, in an effort to force automakers into redesigning electric opening door systems in Tesla's case that have allegedly trapped occupants and resulted in 15 deaths. Wow. That to me is crazy. Shout to my guy, Mr. J. He said, NYC's listening and saying, let them cook. I'm going to tell you, at the end of the day, this is something we got to think about here. Now, Tesla has a couple lawsuits that they fighting right now. On top of this, they're fighting. They have the lawsuit right now with autonomous driving and how they don't use LiDAR, radar. They only use cameras, and because they only use cameras, if the car doesn't recognize what it sees, it doesn't slow down, it doesn't stop, it just keeps going. So that's another thing. A lot of people have lost their lives behind that. Wall Street Journal did a great video on YouTube. If you get a chance to check them out, they did a great video on YouTube on how they were able to decipher and take a camera out of a Tesla, hack it, and show you what the camera sees before a crash. And not only did it just sees black, it didn't see anything. And you know what? The Tesla kept going at that speed and crashed into a couple things. One of them in particular was a fire truck in California that was putting out a fire on the highway from another car that crashed. Tesla came right along, bow, crashed right into it, said it didn't even recognize it. And Tesla skated out of that. You really don't hear, you hear a lot of the bad news that they have, but yet you don't really hear about people winning really big cases from them. So I don't know. This ought to be interesting, man. Me personally, when it comes down to Tesla and all the autonomous and all of that, they can have all of that. But it looks like I said, it's in the U.S. House of Representatives now. It looks like they're trying to make sure that this is not happening everywhere. And mind you, it's not necessarily the car. It's just the door handles. They don't like the door handles being set up the way they are, that they're electric, and that in the case of a crash, it looked like these door handles are not opening and letting people out. They're essentially trapped in their car after an accident. Now, this is not, to me, we've seen this before. We've seen all kind of different shows, Highway 911 or whatever, where they show people trapped in their cars, but they get the jaws of life and everything to cut them out. The difference is that the fire is usually happening under the carriage where you sit, because that's where the batteries are. And those batteries just don't go out. They keep igniting. So getting people out is very important. And not only that, Teslas have this kind of glass that a lot of high-end car companies have. And this is very interesting, where if you break the window, or if you try to break the window, it doesn't break, it just shatters. It doesn't break all the way through for you to get out. So now we're talking about you trying to break the window to get out, you can't get out. And now the door handles won't open because the car is off and the batteries are catching on fire. That is why these things could be dangerous. Like I said, who knows if they're happening with other automotive companies? I'm trying to think, do you know any other automotive or any other autos that open like that, where the doors don't open until you walk up to it, or if they're electric and they shut off? I mean, it's very interesting when you think about it. Shout out to my guy, Mr. 2J. He said Tesla has an insane body count thanks to their designs. It's almost like maybe buying a car from a CEO that's always tweaking is a terrible idea. That's a fact. They got a lot of deaths, and allegedly, I don't really, how we do. We don't want to give you the wrong news, but allegedly, a lot of this stuff has to be proven in court. Although in my court, I'm like, looks like they're selling death traps. But there's a lot of incidents where Teslas have just ran right into things. People couldn't get out of the cars, trying to break the glass. That happened to that happened to what was the Republican chair? I forget his name, but his aunt. She was leaving a party. She put her Tesla in reverse and she backed into like a pool or a pond. And they was trying to get out and they couldn't. They was breaking the glass or trying to break the glass and they couldn't break the glass. And she ultimately was unalived in the car. And because they couldn't get out. So it's just a whole nother big thing. Got to make sure that we, doing the homework on everything we buy, man, because we can't expect everybody else to keep us safe. Shout out to my guy, Ty. He said, we must ban Teslas until they fix this. That is very dangerous. And I will call my bro, Mr. Trump, to get it done. We must keep it. Let me tell you something. If it's one person that's going to make sure that this dude get it done, it's going to be Trump. Because you already know him and Elon, like, oil and water right now. I think that's why a lot of these court cases are hitting him the way he is, because can't go against the God, man. Like he ain't playing. Look, the dude Trump is not playing. He already, first off, automotive guys, we already know if it was left to anybody else, our gas powered cars would be in the dirt right now. Trump is the only one that was like, listen, because it's going electric, people can't afford them. And now look at and you know what, just side note, I don't know if anybody's paying attention to this, but if you buy an American car from now to 2028, you get to write off the price of that car in your taxes. Is the price of, or up to $10,000 of that car in your taxes. So if you're going out there, let's say you make 100,000, or they said 200,000 if you file jointly. If you want to go out there and get a car, this is the perfect time because they letting you write some of it off in your tax. We've never had nothing like that. I don't know. You already know how we get down, man. Shout out to everybody tuned in, paying attention. Chablo, Fresh Cabal, my guy. What's going on, kid? I don't know. Definitely check that out when y'all get a chance. But you know how we do here. We in the building early. And it looked like it's not getting better for Tesla. Like I said, we talked about that. And the thing is like, I guess people like they look at Teslas as luxury. But I don't know. I don't know. They don't seem like they are selling like they should, or like they not as safe as we think they are. Let's get into this a little bit. Tesla's being sued after a Model X crash kills a family of 4. Tesla is once again facing legal scrutiny over its safety technology. While the company has dealt with numerous lawsuits in recent years, particularly over its door handle designs, its autopilot and full self-driving system haven't escaped controversies. We already know. We've been talking about it. It says, according to Forbes, Tesla's driver assistance technology has been linked to at least 51 reported fatalities since the first fatality reported in 2016. The latest case centers on a fatal Idaho crash involving a Tesla Model X that killed 4 members of a Utah family and their dog in September of 2023. The wrongful death lawsuit was filed in August 28th of 2025. Alleges Tesla overstated the real-world capabilities of its driver assistance, creating a false sense of security that may have contributed to the crash. More than 2 years after the incident, the case is now moving to Utah's 3rd Judicial District Court. I think that is where we gotta be careful. Shout to everybody tuned in, paying attention. Shout to my guy Tyson. Trump is the Queens, bro. And Nas been told y'all Queens, you already know, rerun the world and Trump will get rid of the taxes. I tell you what, listen, man, whatever put more bread in the pocket, you already know. You already know. This right here is very interesting because now we getting into the autonomy side of Tesla. And again, overstating, telling people, you know what, you can take your hands off the wheel. They adding video games to the middle console. I mean, like you name it. It's like they're doing it. Like they're trying to like make it where driving is like a thing of the past. Like, you know what, I'll let the car deal with it. But people are dying. People are dying. They say at least 51 reported fatalities. I can probably name a couple more that they're not thinking about. One in particular that took place upstate, Pelham in Pelham. It looks like on Pelham Manor, there was a black couple who had just dropped their kids off to school, and as soon as they jumped in the car did 150 miles an hour right into a brick wall. And nobody's never even investigated this. I be feeling like I'm the only one talking about it. Like it's crazy, but it's definitely happening. So it's like we got to definitely look at this and make sure that these are the kind of things that we got to hold car companies accountable, you know? So with that being said, you know how we get down, man. We're going to jump right into another little something we got going on here. We got our tech talk coming up. Now this ought to be good. Let's see how it goes. Let's get to it.
It's Tech Talk with Pop the Bearded One.
All right, we are back. You already know how we get down, man. It's the Bearded One in the building. So it looks like with Tech Talk, we got a couple things we're going to cover. One, it looks like Toyota is turning GR into their own entity, their own brand, which is great. That right there just says what Toyota is trying to do. Toyota is definitely trying to make sure that they line up for the future. So right now you have Toyota, Lexus, GR, Gazoo Racing, and now you have Century. Now the Century brand that they created is supposed to be going after. It's supposed to be going after the Rolls-Royce and Bentley brand. I don't know if y'all seen that. The cars look a little like high-end, like for real. Like we talking like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, obviously, you see the leather, you see the all kind of different color schemes and paint jobs. It looked really nice. I just can't wait to see how they release it and what exactly they're going to be doing. If this is going to be something that they are going to rock with, or are they definitely gonna move forward? I don't know. It remains to be seen. I really do see a future in it, but I just want to see what they're gonna do with it. I just want to see if they really gonna move forward, because them being who they are is definitely something. We all praise Toyota for the things that they've been able to do. They've definitely been able to get a lot of things. They've definitely been able to move forward with a lot of things. We've seen Toyota battle with Lexus. At that time, they battled BMW, they battled Benz, they battled all of these high-end group, and they kind of won, because in the end, they actually gave us a car that was actually worth keeping around, until they ended up killing them off recently, which was the Lexus LS400. They killing off the GS, or they've killed off the GS. So a lot of Toyota's showing you that they're capable. They're capable of doing it. So they definitely going to Gazoo Racing is a great thing. It's a great thing that they go into Gazoo Racing. Shout to my guy, Mr. 2J. He said a lot of those EV designs and features attract people who don't like to drive but like to get to places. But again, it's like don't forget about the essence of it. Don't forget like the point of it. Like, you're moving around on the road. If you don't want to move around and drive, then your best bet is gonna be take the train, take the bus. You know what I mean? Like, take an Uber. Don't even bother getting a car. Take an Uber. But once you call yourself, I'm gonna have my own car, I'm gonna get on the street, and you looking to do other things while driving, this is where we run into a lot of problems. Shout to my guy, Coach K in the building. Shout to my guy, he's tuned in. What's going on, my brother? I'm gonna tell you. Now, Toyota going to Gazoo Racing, or creating their own brand, which is Gazoo Racing, is definitely to me one of the greater things that we've seen. Why? Because Toyota been preaching since day one that they were not going to take their whole brand and drop all of their gas cars and go fully electric, because they said that, when people try to force people to do things, they're not going to like it. So you know what? They was right. Shout to 2J. He said, I love to see Century bring back the 5-liter V12. Let me tell you, recently I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of people on YouTube. Shout to a lot of those that I'm actually like subscribed to, and one of them has to be this one. It's called Trek Trendy, right? And he recently took a Japanese sleeper train. So he stayed in a hotel, complimentary, that was actually a pretty nice hotel. But when they brought him downstairs, they had a Toyota Century taking him around, which was like their Rolls Royce in Japan. So it looks like they already been moving like this anyway. So now it looks like they're going to move forward and release them to the rest of the world. And let me tell you, the things that I've seen on this Toyota Century, just the curtains on the windows, the curtains on the back window, the phones, the seats, just the seats alone, man, look like they done killed a bunch of ostriches and put them back there. They're crazy. But I will say that it looks like it's worth it. But back to Toyota Gazoo Racing brand now being standalone. This really has a lot to do with Akito Toyota. This is one of the things that he wanted to do. This allows him now to keep producing performance cars and have it under that brand, where now Toyota could be the economy, Gazoo Racing can be for the performance, Lexus could be their electrification, and Century could be their high end. If it's nobody else that has a better plan, nobody else has a better plan, in my opinion. The way that Toyota has navigated through this crazy time, this crazy historic time, where nobody was sure we was going, Toyota was sure where they was going. They never stopped. They make great SUVs. Even though right now, I think the biggest thing is they have a recall on that twin turbo 6, but they're handling it. You got a lot of car companies who have recalls. They're like, man, we ain't giving you nothing. So trust me when I tell you, I think Toyota is doing a fine job, and them being Gazoo Racing strictly now is going to be great, because now it allows Toyota, but Gazoo, to go racing. And this is what we want. Remember, racing is what puts a lot of this tech in your cars. So just keep that in mind. You already know what it is. It's the bearded one here. We in the building, man. It's going down. It looks like now Toyota has set their sights on going after some of these more expensive brands. And I can't wait to see if they can pull it off. But you know who else is going after brands and actually pulling in and tying in? It looks like BMW has finally acquired Alpina Racing. Now, well, not Alpina Racing, just Alpina. They have officially acquired them. Now, y'all probably seen the Alpina B7, which looked like the 750 IL, but now it looks like that they said, you know, we might as well acquire them. Shout to my Jay-Z. Hate you. He said, welcome to the house that Toyota built. Almost forgot you were into Hondas when we were younger. Yo, you know what? Honda's always been my thing because they're easy to work on. And, you know, it's easy to find information on. But I'm going to tell you, man, Toyota is like, they leaps and bounds, man. I don't see out of the top, to me, they're one of the top 5 car companies in the world. And I'm not talking about like just expensive cars. I'm talking about how they really take care of their base, their fan base. They give you what you want from. Listen, people cried about a Toyota Supra. They gave you one. Maybe they didn't give you the one that everybody was asking for. And, you know, they matched it with BMW, but they did it. You got a lot of car companies be like, that car is dead and gone. Look at Dodge. They're like, oh, that car is dead and gone. Nothing we can do. Now they're trying to revive that V8. But let me tell you, man, Toyota, from the FJ Cruiser, the Land Cruiser, I mean, like, you name it. Like, if you think about it, Toyota. shout to the resident Toyota guy, Marlon. Shout to Marlon, resident Toyota guy. So it's like when you really think about it, I'm telling you, man, I'll be looking at them like, it's, to me, Toyota, Ford, Porsche, Honda. As you know, I'm gonna go with Honda. And after that, I gotta go with BMW. Those are the top 5 right now. It's like, you know what? Those cars are really taking care of their fan base. They're giving them what they want. BMW acquiring Alpina is something that a lot of BMW people were looking for. They were like, you know what? It's about time. And now they've done it. And we don't even know what to expect from this. Is this going to be something that they offer you on the dealership floor now? Like think about this for a minute. Alpina been making BMWs look more aggressive since 1982. I believe the first one was E30 or was it an E30 body? But they really been adding, and it's been like a hard to find thing almost too. Like when it comes down to like the wheels or the kits, it's like you had to get it from Alpina. Now that they acquired them, is this going to be something that BMW offers you when you go there to get your Beamer? Hey, listen, you want the Alpina wheels? You want the Alpina, you know what I mean? Shout to my guy, Silk the Relic. What's going, Slick the Relic? What's popping, kid? He said, Ford, for only real drivers. You know, your acronym is crazy. I remember Ford stood for Found on Road Dead. Now, but they've gotten better. So I can't knock you on that. But with Alpina, with BMW acquiring Alpina, this is just giving you more reach. It's giving BMW more reach. They may even take them over in Alpina, be their performance division, because right now the M and the competition package is like they can put it on your car. You can buy the M, but they high end. A lot of people probably can't really afford them. It's very interesting out here what's going on. I can't really look into the crystal ball and say what's happening as far as these brands are concerned, but they are making it happen. Shout to Mo. He said, fix or repair daily. Oh, we hitting them with the acronyms. Y'all lucky I ain't got my sound effects yet, but when I do, because that was raw. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. It's looking really good out there for BMW. I mean, you got to think that now, like on top of Alpina cars having the backing of BMW, because that's also what they talked about, is that a lot of the cars that Alpina sells, even though they're registered as Alpinas, they can go to BMW and get serviced. So it's like they are really not playing. It says we can expect from the future BMW Alpina vehicles to come out with luxurious finishes, effortless performance, and some classic design cues. One of the first vehicles to get this treatment under BMW stewardship could be an enhanced version of the XM or the future X8, or maybe an even fancier take on the V8 powered 7 Series. That's what I'm talking about. They're not playing, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Shout to he said first on race day. Yeah. There's a couple of them. Shout out to Mr. 2J. He said, honestly, I think of bread that you should put up. There would be the Hyundai Genesis brand, regardless of what's been going on with them. They've at least been bringing performance and luxury. Okay, I tell you what, if it, you're right. When I name the top 5, Hyundai definitely. We may have to even scratch BMW and put Hyundai in and put BMW as an honorable mention. And I know a lot of y'all not gonna agree with me. At the end of the day, I'm not really a Hyundai guy either, but they really have been pouring it on. Like they haven't stopped. So matter of fact, when you think about it, think about the Genesis. Think about this wagon that they came out with recently. I don't know if y'all saw the pictures of this wagon, but I'm like, they might be having me buy a Hyundai wagon, man. It may really be getting me to buy a Hyundai wagon because they look nice. There's no way you get around it. Shout out to Mr. 2J. He said, honestly, another brand should. Okay, well, he said that already. Yeah, we got that. So you already know what it is. Oh, no, he didn't. He said, honestly, another brand you should also look at is the Hyundai Genesis brand. Everything from the designs down to the idea, performance, and the manual. It's just, you know what? It's just them getting over this Kia boys and Hyundai boys where they've been stealing the car. Just trying to get over a lot of that. But I'll be honest with you. The magenta that they came out with, the little sports car let me not say little sports car. Let me see, extreme sports car that they came out with, along with that wagon. And I can't lie. The G80 SUVs look mean. Like, I mean, they look mean. They do. They look like I don't really give, SUVs too much props. Maybe if it's something that really like I said, the FJ I really like. But I'm tell you, man, that Hyundai Genesis G80 SUV, yeah, I like it. I do. It looks high end, and that's another thing. Hyundai been able to really get a lot of their cues and make a car look high end that's not really breaking the bank. So yeah, you kind of got to give them number 5, man. Shout to Jay. He changed my mind, man. Shout to my guy. With that being said, man, Toyota is out here playing games too. So Toyota recently said they was gonna release a 2-door MR on Friday. Everybody thinking that it's going to be the MR2. We about to be back in business. It's about to be another sports car from Toyota. All they did was release a mid-engine rear-wheel drive key truck from Daihatsu. Now, that's a joke, but it ain't funny. But we'll let Toyota go. We'll let Toyota go with that for now. But it wasn't funny. You got to make sure. Listen. Akito, he has a good sense of humor. But they also released a Toyota GR Yaris Morizo RR edition. Now, what is that bid? And what it looks like, it's a Toyota GR Yaris that they was using for racing. It comes with a big old carbon fiber wing on the trunk. But the only thing is, it comes auto. It comes with that new automatic transmission that they have that can guess what you needed to do and shift. And you know what? That right there. Why do they do that? Why do they always come out with a car with such performance and then made it to a automatic transmission? It's like, I get it. I was having this conversation at the job the other day, and you got a couple guys that love auto, and I'm just like, how? Like, you don't drive manual at all? And they're like, nah, the auto is faster. I'm like, come on, man, come on. It's about learning how to pilot out here. Like, it ain't just that a car is faster. Can you pilot it to make it faster? And like I said, me and my old co-host used to talk about this all the time. You have Lewis Hamilton, who's a 7-time champion. You got Schumacher, these guys, and Senna. These guys drove different cars. Lewis Hamilton, he could keep both hands on the wheel. He got paddle shifters. He got all kind of safety features and things like that. But when you look at Senna, he was driving like literally setting lap times with manual trim. He was shifting the whole time. Bam, 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 bam. And when you think about it, he's taking one hand off the wheel to do that with a V10 in it. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's two totally different things. So when you tell me that, the automatic is fast, it's only faster because they made it faster. Because if they had other things that help manual transmissions out the way they help them automatic transmissions out, we might be faster. I'll tell you this. BMW just recently released, or not released, but they're working on technology that locks out a gear so that you don't money shift. And that's a lot of things that people are worried about. There's two things when people drive manual that they're worried about. One is going to be the money shift, because that could kill you. And for those that don't know what a money shift is, you may be trying to go from fifth back down to fourth, but you inadvertently go from fifth to second, and now you over rev the engine and blow the engine. That is the money shift, because now it costs you money, right? That is what people are worried about, and they're worried about burning out a clutch. If we could get around these two things, now burning out a clutch is going to happen if you don't know what you're doing, right? But if we could get around the money shift, people probably wouldn't be as afraid. I believe a lot of people are afraid too that when they go to take off, the car may stall. And if I'm not mistaken, the GR Corolla now, you don't have to worry about that so much because it kind of assists you. Not something that I'm with, but I understand it makes it easy for other people. It's like riding motorcycles. They making motorcycles where it's easier with people not losing control of the bike in the first gear, throwing it up and crashing into something. So I understand, because they got to sell cars and they got to sell bikes. But Toyota is definitely, not Toyota, BMW is on that as well, working on that kind of technology. So it looks like it's going to get very interesting. You already know how we get down, man. It's the Bearded One. Shout to everybody who's tuned in and rock with me so far. Shout to my guy Ty, man, all the way down there in sunny Florida with the stolen plates on the Shout to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. Shout to Boss Jones. Shout to my sister. Shout to Adrian Adams, Sereno. You already know we get down. Shout to my guy, Mr. 2J. You already know we in the building, man. We're going to step right up to our next little segment we got going on here, man. This is my favorite. This is where we get to talking about a little couple things with us. So let's get right to it. Driver's etiquette.
Driver's etiquette. Because sometimes you got to get this off your chest.
All right, we are back with the driver's etiquette. Now, for those that don't know, this right here is kind of like where we get to vent a little bit. We get to vent just a little bit. We get to, talk about some things. I will say this one in particular is something that we've been paying attention to for a long time, and it seems like it's not getting any better. And what is that Bearded One? It looks like it's NYC's onslaught. There's still an onslaught on drivers, and it's getting ridiculous. It is. It's getting ridiculous. I mean, when you think about it, now they want to drop the speed limit to 20 miles an hour, which they already succeeded in getting it past courts. So expect that some of I believe they have 250 streets right now where the speed limit is 20 miles an hour. Now, why did they do this? They're saying, we did it for safety. And they say they're doing everything for safety, but trust me, the way that they are putting up cameras and the way that they're just trying to get an automatic ticketing system going, and they're successful at it. We could talk about, you name it, red light cameras, speed cameras, exhaust cameras. Shout to Diane Postal. She said, "What's up, Bearded One?" Shout, that's my mom. I got my sound effects. We gonna give her a shout out. Let's go. Shout out to Diane Chestnut Postal. So there's so many different things they got going on, like red light cameras, speed cameras, bus lane cameras now, exhaust cameras now. And all of these things are starting to dish out tickets. And the city is trying to figure out how else they can get you with parking tickets. They want to put cameras on street sweepers now that automatically give you tickets for being on the wrong side. Like, what more can they do? Oh, they're not done. Now we got congestion pricing, right? And not only with congestion pricing now, They raised the fare on the subway. Like either you drive or you take the train, you still giving me my money. And it's like it's like they won't stop. And now they're gonna put 450 more red light cameras out here in the city. And you just gotta ask yourself, is this because people are driving wild? Or is it like don't get me wrong. I see people do things on the road every day that I don't understand. But go get them. Lock them up. I don't know why they making a big thing out of it. Shout to my man Slick the Relic. He said 15 miles per hour and the school zone at 3 a.m. You'll get a ticket. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. They're giving you, and like I said, at 3 in the morning, 15, 20 miles an hour. They don't want you going no faster than that. She said, not true. It's a trap for more money. You could walk faster than 20 miles an hour. It's true. What about these bikes? What about these electric bikes? They talking about the speed limit on an electric bike is 16 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour. Who's checking that? Who's checking that? It doesn't make any sense. He said, shout to Mr. 2J. He said BMW creating an anti-money shift trim is going to get reverse engineered to an early 2000s Honda. Because you could blow your engines over there. But like I said, like you got to really think about it. Is it an onslaught on just drivers? What if people did just stop driving and ended up everybody getting an electric bike or everybody walk to work? Like they're not even thinking about how it's hurting businesses. Because I tell you right now, when I drive now, it's like I'm not parking on the street because now even the parking is getting crazy. They're giving you tickets for everything. I just don't understand how this is going to last. Like, is it that they don't want you to own a car? They don't want cars in the city. They've already been clear about that by putting the congestion pricing from 60th Street on down. But it's like, at what point do they give the driver relief? It's like it's just really getting out of control. It's like, the driver gets no relief right now. It's none. If you drive your car in New York City, you got to look out. Here we go. You got to look out for the speed cameras. You got to look out for the red light cameras. You got to look out for the exhaust cameras because they do have them out there. You got to look out for the bus lane cameras. And we talked about early on in other shows how these bus lane tickets that people are getting tickets for parking at a bus stop. They're not even parked there. They're not even parked in the bus stop. It's just taking a picture and they sending people tickets. And people got to be out here fighting these tickets. It's like, how do you do all of that? Now, they talking about they want to put cameras on street sweepers and not even just for street sweeping rules, just to scan and give people parking tickets off the rip. It's like, I'm telling you, to drive in New York City, you really, really, really got to be like ironclad, man. It's not fair to those who actually like really put the work in. And like I said, when you think about it, all that you got to fight against, it's like, is it really worth it? Then your insurance is high. The payments are high. It's like, so what happens here? We don't need them. The subway don't go all the way to Long Island. I'll take the Long Island Railroad for that. It's like they got cameras on everything. Shout out to Diane Postel. She said they got cameras on the school buses. Cameras on, and I forgot about that because I had caught a little school bus ticket. They said that I had driven past the red stop sign. I was on the other side of the street, and as I was driving, he stopped and the sign wasn't even out yet. And we can see that in the picture, but they don't care. They was like, you know what? That's your ticket. You got to eat it. And it's like, you got to fight it yourself. Shout out to my 2 Jay-Z hate you. He said, 16 miles an hour, those electric bikes are definitely much faster than they are. We've seen them on the highway. It's been times I'm going to work in the morning and I seen a guy on an electric bike on the highway and he doing highway speed, 60 miles an hour. I said, this is what I mean. People could buy those electric bikes, put bigger motors on them and make them fast if they want to. Now we got a problem. I don't know. With no enforcement, it's starting to get crazy. Shout to 2J. He said, meanwhile, the road looked like it just had a Dragon Ball Z fight, but tell us the moment you drive it, it costs money. That's a fact. Let me tell you, the LIE right now, the LIE and the Cross Island have to be the worst. And I'm not, well, the Van Wyck too, let's throw that in there. These got to be the worst highways in the world. The other day, I was driving my car home and I went over a metal plate that was put in the middle of a highway. And I'm like, how do you put a metal plate in the middle of the highway? I don't understand. Like, we can't just fix the pothole. Like, you put a whole metal plate. I mean, my car was Dukes of Hazzard in the air like this. Man, I thought I broke something. I had to pull over and look at the car. It can't persist. It can't persist. This is getting ridiculous. It's going to get to a point where we're going to have to start a coalition of drivers who are fed up that the city has seen and forgot. Shout to Slick Darrell. He said they're also paying citizens to take pictures of your cars parked at fire hydrant bus lanes. So your fellow New Yorkers are out here trying to get you too. And that's a fact. I've seen a guy that made I think he made like $60,000 a year reporting UPS trucks and FedEx trucks that are on in the city. He takes a picture, and from what I did not know is that from that ticket, he gets a percentage. He gets a percentage. That's crazy. I just think, where we are with this, it's like there has to be a coalition. There has to be something that we could put together that represents the drivers of New York, because it's like they don't care. They're ticketing you to the point where they don't care. I don't care. You're going to pay this. You're going to pay that. And it's like to the point where it's getting out of control. Registration prices getting out of control. Did you know, like even inspection, they tied your inspection into your registration. So if your car doesn't pass inspection, you can't have it registered. But it's like, well, what deems them not ready to pass inspection? And it's like, what, a lot of it, you like, come on, man. Like we talking about, oh, you can't put no air in your tires or something. It's silly out here in New York City. I wouldn't be shocked. So just think about that for a little while. Think about what the city is doing to drivers and what we could do to get back. That's the only thing I could think of at this moment, is getting back. Like, you know what? Y'all gonna have to slow down a little bit, because we don't have nobody. There's nobody speaking up for the people who drive. There's no congressman. It's like, you know what? People who drive are getting messed up. It's like they don't care. They letting everything go. Shout to Mr. 2, my Jay-Z hates you. He said, yeah, there's a guy on a bicycle in the city going around looking for obstructed plates, expired stickers. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's putting his life on the line. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? But then again, he's getting his money. He's getting a piece of the action. So it's definitely sad. It's definitely sad, but this is what's going on out here, man. This is what's going on out here. So with that being said, that's our driver's etiquette. You know how we get down, man. Just one of those times we like to vent. We will have the phones on next week, so I will be taking phone calls. You want to vent? I can't wait to hear what you got to say. We definitely going to be putting the questions out there. Don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram at Rally Radio Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Rally Radio Podcast. And if you're not following us on Facebook, we are Gutter Ball Rally on Facebook, okay? Gutter Ball Rally on Facebook. Don't forget, you can find us Instagram. You can find us on YouTube at Rally Radio Podcast if you're not following. And you can also find us on TikTok as Rally Radio Podcast. All right? Don't forget, shout us out, drop a like, follow, subscribe, share if you can. You already know what it is. With that being said, we're going to move right on. We got a whole host of other things before we get up out of here for the day. This right here is coming from our hot mods now. This is definitely interesting. Our hot mods. It looks like a man set out to buy an old school Rolls Royce. He said he always wanted one. He's buying it for his father. And it looks like that Rolls Royce turned out to be Tupac's old Rolls Royce. This is very interesting. Timothy Fabrizio, born car finder with a penchant for vehicles with pop culture connections, set out to buy his dad's dream car, a 90s Rolls Royce Corniche convertible specifically in black on tan. Those are pretty rare. So rare, in fact, that Fabrizio said he ended up buying the same one once driven by legendary West Coast rapper Tupac Shakur. He went on a deep dive into the car's Death Row Records and unearthed some pretty cool stuff. He found out that this Rolls Royce actually belonged to Tupac. Now, obviously, Tupac probably didn't do too much driving on his own, but it looks like he was able to dig and find some information about it, and he found out that the car actually belonged to Tupac. A little bit of the story. Fabrizio, the same guy who adopted Nicki Minaj's Bentley after its pink wrap was removed. And so this is like his thing. He likes to pick up some of these cars from different superstars, and especially on the other side of it, like where these cars are like sat to the side and they not cared about. Said he went down with my suspicions on the car. It wasn't completely random that it happened to be Tupac's. The Death Row cars I always kind of had in the back of my mind over the years, and figured that it was possibly the same car that my dad loved, which his friend drove regularly around the West Coast many years, as it matched what I remembered. He said in his search, he found the Tupac registration, which along with the spec details and finishes confirmed everything. Wow. Especially once he saw the car in person. After he bought it in 2024, it sparked my interest in hunting celebrity cars and historically significant cars. So shout to him, man. Found Tupac's old Rolls Royce. I don't know if that added any value to it, but, I guess in his eyes it is. So with that being said, we get down, man. That is our no, that's not our hot mine. Excuse me. But that's that is our hot mine. So now we're going to get into something that you haven't gotten to in a long time. And that is going to be the understeer. Press stop on the music a little bit right here. Now, the understeer, this is when, you kind of mess up out there, tell you the truth. This is actually going towards the California DMV. Now, in New York, we experiencing the same thing with the real IDs. We got to go get a real ID. You're going to use that instead of your passport, and you got to have it. And more than 300,000 California people get a real ID surprise because the DMV seems to have messed up with them. Let's get into it. The DMV for California said we proactively reviewed our records, identified a legacy system issue from 2006, and are notifying impacted customers with the clear guidance on how to maintain a valid California issued credential, says the DMV director, Steve Gordon. For nearly 99% of real ID holders, no action is required. The DMV remains committed to serving all Californians and ensuring real ID credentials meet standards. So for the most part, the state of California messed up on an era of an old software code. And because of that, 300,000 people from California got to go back to get a real ID. You talking about mad? You know what you got to do to get one of these? You got to make your appointment with the DMV for months, 2-3 months in advance to finally sit there and have all your paperwork and get a real ID to find out that something's wrong with it, and you got to go through that process all over again. They keep saying that 99% of people they're going to look for. We already know that's not true. We know that's not true. You know that they're not going to look out for them people. Sad to say, if you know anybody in California that has a real ID, tell them they better make sure it's right. They don't want to find out when they get to the airport thinking that they could use this thing as a passport, and it's wrong. Oh, talk about the understeer. That is ridiculous. I would be so angry, but this is how we get down, man. You already know what it is. It's the bearded one here. This is Rally Radio in the building. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. Shout out to all the people that rocked with us today, man. Appreciate everybody who dropped a like, dropped a comment, who even sat here and rocked with us for a little while. You know how we get down, man. We will be back next week, but we will be back 12 noon. 12 noon. We're not shooting for no other time. I know right now we're a little off, but so many different things going on. 12 noon is what we are shooting for. 12 noon. We will be here next week, 12 noon. Don't forget, check us out on YouTube at Rally Radio Podcast. We have other videos that we upload outside of our live stream, which we'll be doing right now today. But shout to everybody who rocked with us today. Shout to Mr. 2J. Shout to my 2J Hate You. Let's go. Shout to Diane Chestnut for rocking with us. Shout to my guy Slick the Relic. You already know what it is. Shout to Coach K. Shout to everybody who rocked with us today. Shout, let's go. Shout to Chablo Fresh Cabal. You already know what it is. Shout to my guy Multi Gamble Ty. Shout to him for tuning in. Appreciate that. Shout to everybody who rocked with us today. Everybody that dropped a like, you already know what it is. Let's go. Shout to Joe Don 2930. You already know what it is. With that being said, we are in the building next week. I appreciate everybody who rocked with us today. So with that being said, until next week, I'm gone. Holla, let's get it.
Drop the clutch, hit the gas. Rally Radio, where the fast life meets the fast lane.
Yeah.
You're now tuned into Bars and Hoops Radio.
Yeah.
The world of hip-hop and sports live.
Dropping the clutch and then I hit the gas. Wheels screeching, tires burning, I'm flying past. Gotta get home quick, don't wanna miss the class. They schooling you on whips and how to make them fast. Talking about everything from cars to planes. What's hot, what's next, and how to flip the game. They talk in my language, we speak the same. That whip talk complex, but yet they keep it plain. From the news, the interviews, they keep it cool. They give reviews, everything from parts to tools. Can't lose, come to whips, they not no fools. Don't miss the show, the start time is noon. The bearded one, S.I. Sean, they crazy though. You can't miss it, tune in to Rally Radio.
Where the fast life meets the fast lane.